some of your guests, because we're going to be talking about emotional decisions and how they impact every area of your life.
It's time for Let's Talk with Tara. Tara is a counseling coach who addresses real issues that plague many women today. Issues like church hurt, disappointment, anxiety, depression, and many more. You will be inspired, educated, and empowered on how to receive the help and healing needed to move forward. If you have real issues, then Tara has real solutions. Let's talk with Tara.
Right into it. Let's get right into it. I want to welcome you all to my podcast today. This is Let's Talk with Tara, and we're going to be talking about emotional decisions. And I'm going to be reading just a little bit from my book, Ladies Let's Talk, Life, Lies, Love, and Relationships. That's Ladies Let's Talk, Life, Lies, Love, and Relationships. As it relates to emotional decisions, emotional decisions impact every area of our life. So often we don't understand how when our emotions impact the various areas of our life. Our emotions directly impact our finances, our intimate relationships, our health, our relationships with our siblings, our children, our career, and so many different, our spirituality, and so many different areas of our life. It impacts it. And if you have emotions that are not healed, guess what? You're going to feel and see the impact of those unhealed, unaddressed emotions in various areas of your life. I say this, your emotions impact your financial wealth, your emotional wealth, your spiritual health. If they're not healed, you're going to have a deficit somewhere. You're going to have a deficit somewhere. So let's get right into it, you guys. Let's get right into it. And again, I'm reading directly from my book, Ladies Let's Talk, Life, Lies, Love, and Relationships. Life, Lies, Love, and Relationships as it relates to emotions. And then I'll open up the room for questions. On this journey through life, every situation, trial, and test, and every person that you encounter is created with two purposes: either to teach or taunt, and either to develop or destroy. People either add or subtract from you. You have to decide which you will choose. Each person has a woe as me story, but people will only feel sorry for you for a little while. If you want more, you have to do more. Stop making excuses that only handicap you from living a life of abundance in every area of your existence. God has already made everything you need available to you if you just ask. Now it's up to you to do the necessary requirements for Him to get whatever you need to you. Say that again. Now He's already made it available, but it's up to you to do the necessary requirements for Him to get whatever you need to you. So often we are waiting on God to do something when He's already made it available, and you have to do the necessary steps to make those things come to fruition. You have to do that. You have to make those things come to fruition. So, let me keep going. When people react from their emotions, it causes a collaboration of assorted problems that reshape and redefine their character and sometimes changes the course of their life. But when women start making decisions based on credible and godly knowledge, thinking, and not reacting to their feelings, emotions, there will be a change in the results. Simply put, If you take your emotions out of the equations when making decisions about life, lives, love, and relationships, and make those decisions from the truth, then the outcome will be a lot different. Consequently, people make major life decisions based on their emotional state of being at the time, and in doing so, they often make the wrong decision. Let me read that again. People make major life decisions based on their emotional state of being at the time, and in doing so, they often make the wrong decisions. We must realize that we operate out of 3 realms as it relates to making decisions. The first realm is the truth, which is the Word of God. The second realm is a truth, our perception. And then the third realm is facts. The first realm is the truth, which is the Word of God. The second realm is a truth, which is our perception. And the third realm is facts. You must ask yourself, what will this emotional act cost me, and is it worth it? The problem with making emotional decisions is that emotions, the facts realms, are unpredictable. They change from moment to moment, causing a response that you either may regret later. If you make an emotional decision based on how you feel today without gathering correct information or processing the information that you have, your decision-making ability may be clouded, and the emotional decisions you make today, you may regret tomorrow. You may want them today, but you may regret them tomorrow. For examples, I always talk to ladies. Ladies never make decisions like getting your hair cut when you are an emotional wreck, because when your emotions get back on track, you're stuck with a haircut that when in the right emotional frame of mind, you would have never requested. I remember once stressed out from work, my kids working on my nerves, my then husband not acting right, and being just plain stressed from everyday chores. Then to top it off, this particular morning I woke up with a bad hair day without thinking. I got the clippers and I shaved all my hair off. Yeah. In an unstable frame of mind, I never would have done this, but I allowed my emotions, the facts realm, to control my decision instead of using credible knowledge, wisdom, the truth realm, thinking that tomorrow will be better. Allowing your emotions to be the driving force when making a decision can cause catastrophic transformations in your life. Let's talk about how making emotional decisions affect your life and the heartache it can bring. Listen, ladies, listen. We have to be mindful that when you are making emotional decisions, and women tend to be more emotional than men. Not to say that men are not emotional, but women tend to be more emotional than men. And when you make decisions out of your emotions, there will be a catastrophic outcome in different areas of your life. So it's imperative to deal with those emotions that are bruised, that are hurt, that are bleeding, that are broken. If you don't deal with those emotions, I promise you, those emotions are going to show up in different areas of your life, and they're going to directly impact them. I recently facilitated a vision workshop that I usually do once a year, and I'm sharing this information about how the behaviors, the barriers that prevent women and people just in general from seeing their vision to come to fruition. Okay, so I'm talking about these emotions, those hurts, those pains, and during the workshop, I kind of break things down. And I always have a question and answer session on there. And the young lady made the statement. She recognized how many promotions she has lost because of the perceptions that people had of her, of being harsh, being not approachable, being too stern, being abrasive. They had this perception of her because of the way she carried herself. She carried herself that way because she had emotions that she was making decisions off of the emotions from her past hurts. Now, this is how your emotions directly impact you in different areas of your life. Had she recognized years before that she needed healing from these emotions, her perception and persona would have been totally different in her workplace. And she's an African American woman, and so often, I just want to put a pin in this, so often African American women have this persona that you have to be the bad girl, you have to be so strong and so tough so nobody can run over you. And that's not always the best decision to have. But she had this persona, and she was in a leadership position. Even though she was in a leadership position, how much further she could have been if she would have healed from her emotions from the past that directly hindered her financial situation, which was her job. She would have been much further in life financially on her job, making more money, if they didn't have this persona of her that she projected from the hurt that she never healed from. From the hurt that she never healed from. So, as it relates to emotions, we have to really understand your emotional decisions, they impact you. You have to deal with those emotions. If you don't deal with those emotions, they're going to deal with you. They are definitely going to deal with you. And you have to be mindful, hey, am I going to allow my emotions to control my relationships, my finances, my spiritual growth, my health, my physical well-being, my psychological well-being? Am I going to allow those emotional hurts from the past, those emotional disappointments from the past, continue to dominate my life and control my life? Or am I going to identify them and take charge of my life, my emotions, so that you can properly heal? Now, and I use that word properly heal because some of you guys have healed, but you haven't healed properly. You have healed, but you haven't healed properly. What do I mean when I say that? Okay, have you ever seen someone that broke their finger and they didn't reset it properly and it healed crooked? It healed, but it didn't heal properly. It healed crooked. So they're not able to use that finger in its full capacity because it didn't heal properly. It healed in a broken state. It healed in a fractured state. So many of you guys are healed, but you didn't heal properly. And some of you guys are just not healed at all. You're walking around a big gaping wound that doesn't even have a band-aid on it. And if it has a band-aid on it, it's not suffice for the wound. It's not covering it. Every time the wind blows or your clothing hits it, you feel it. And meaning, when I say the wind blows, every time somebody says something, you see something that that mimics the pain from the past, it affects you. And you go down this spiral of remembering that pain from the past, and you make it your present. Those emotional decisions directly impact your life. And you must, if you want to grow. Because, my mom used to say, you don't have to do any, you have to do two things. Depending on what color you are. I'm an African American. She used to tell me you got to do two things. You stay black and die. Those are two things you have to do. Is you're going to stay black and you're going to die. So if you want growth in your life, you're going to have to be intentional with identifying your hurts. Be intentional with identifying your pains. Be intentional with identifying those emotions that are hindering you. And I said you're going to have to identify them, because some people don't even know why they do what they do. They just do it. They're just doing it, not realizing, why do I always get the results from this? We all live our lives in patterns and cycles. If you don't realize the pattern and the cycle of the negative results and outcomes that you have been getting, you're never going to address the problem and then work on the necessary steps to heal from it. You have to identify it first. Like I said, most of us don't want to identify. If you've been doing stuff so long, it becomes your new normal. It becomes a new normal, and you don't realize that, hey, every time I do stomp my foot, I start an argument. Well, if you stop stomping your foot, you'll stop starting an argument. But you're not going to stop stomping your foot if you don't know why you are stomping your foot. What makes you stomp your foot? And I'm just using that as an example, of course. What makes you do that? What's the purpose of it? Why do you use that reaction? What was the cause of you starting to stomp your foot when you're mad that's going to cause a negative reaction with your children, your husband, your mom, your dad, your coworker, whoever? What is that stomp your foot for you? What is it? Is it to roll your eyes? Is your tone of voice? Is it the stomp your foot? Is it that you go on a shopping spree? Is it the stomp your foot that you go on an eating binge? What is it that causes you to get the reactions, the outcome that you don't want? And then when you get it, you ask yourself, I always do this. I don't know why I keep doing this. Well, because you haven't dealt with the emotions associated with the behavior. You have to deal with the emotions associated with the behavior in order to change. And those emotions, again, directly impact your life. Directly impact their life. I see Melody. I'm going to open it up. We have like 7 minutes before the podcast is over. I'm going to open the floor up for Coach Melody to come on and see if she has anything she wants to say related to emotional decisions and how they impact your life. I don't know if she's able to come on. All right, I see she's there.
Hey Tara, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am well. Kind of caught me off guard.
I know I like doing that.
We just, I was listening to everything that you were saying, and we do have to own our part in it and why we're making the decisions as to what we're making that's repeating those same cycles over and over. We just have to mainly get to a point where we realize the part that we play in it. And for the actions that we're doing, so that we can identify and then work on stopping those particular cycles.
Yeah, definitely. I've been just really big on dealing with these emotions, especially, it's 2021 and we are just in it. I won't just say the nation, I'm going to say the world is in an emotional state. And when your emotions are unstable, you make decisions that if you were just stable in your thinking, stable in your emotions, you would not normally make. And the thing about emotional decisions, the more you make them, the more they become a part of your character. And see, we don't think about that in that aspect. The more we don't deal with our emotions and we make decisions and have certain mindsets and behaviors, the more those mindsets and behaviors, they start developing and shaping our character until they become normal to us. It's just it becomes a part of who you are. Now, can you change your character? You can, but it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work to change your mindset, to change your thoughts, to change your behavior. So, dealing with those emotions, I truly believe if we just start from the root, we'll stop dealing with the fruit. So often we deal with the fruit, the result of it, instead of dealing with the root of the problem. We don't deal with the root of the problem, which is what caused my emotions to be bruised, what caused my emotions to be hurt, what offended me, what upset me, what happened to me that caused me to be this way. What happened to me that caused me to be this way. So as it relates to emotional decisions, I'm going to be talking about this all month on Monday Midday with Tara. Let's Talk Tara on my podcast, of course, and I'll be coming on here on Clubhouse just to share some wisdom, some nuggets, so that women especially. Now this is it relates to everybody, but I reach women. I'm called to women. That women especially, if they just deal with the emotions, the hurt, the pain, the disappointment, the frustration, the unmet expectations, if they deal with them from the emotional, from the root of it, that the fruit, the behavior, the outcomes will be so different. Instead of getting the results that they don't want, they can start getting the results that they do want. So this has been Midday, Monday Midday with Tara. You guys, I thank you for joining me here on my podcast. Make sure you like and share. We're going to be talking about emotions all month. Next week, we're going to be talking about emotional intimacy. So we're going to be talking about some things, the different aspects of emotions, the emotional cycle, the need cycle of unfaithfulness. We're going to be talking about it all because I really want you guys to kind of get it of what's really going on. So join me next week, Monday, midday, right here on our podcast, and I'll see you then, and also on Clubhouse. Have a great day.
You have been listening to Let's Talk with Tara. We hope you've enjoyed this show. Remember, if you have real issues, then Tara has real solutions. Thanks for stopping by. See you next week.